As a dense fog rolled through the quiet town of Cresthaven, Heather couldn't shake the unease settling in her gut. Her childhood friend Claire had always been a bit eccentric, but lately her behavior had taken a disturbing turn. It began innocently enough, a barrage of texts, calls, and unexpected visits. Claire claimed it was all in the name of friendship, but Heather felt suffocated by the constant attention. As the days passed, the messages became increasingly possessive, veering into the realm of obsession. One stormy night, Heather found herself alone in her dimly lit apartment. The rhythmic tap of rain against the window served as a backdrop to the haunting silence within. That's when she heard it, a soft, pestering scratching at her front door. Hesitant, Heather opened the door to find Claire standing in the doorway, rain-soaked and disheveled. Her eyes, wide and unblinking, conveyed a desperation that sent a chill down Heather's spine. Heather tried to distance herself, but Claire's presence lingered like a shadow. Claire's visits became more frequent, each one marked by growing intensity. One evening, as Heather returned home, she found her apartment in disarray. The walls were adorned with photos, snapshots of Heather taken without her knowledge, arranged in a disturbing collage. Panic set in as she realized the depths of Claire's fixation. Determined to confront the escalating situation, Heather sought the help of the authorities. But Claire, fueled by an unhinged determination, eluded them. The obsession escalated, and Heather's every move was shadowed by the relentless presence of her former friend. As Heather's sense of security crumbled, she received a chilling package. Inside, she found a meticulously crafted doll, its features eerily resembling her own. A note accompanied the haunting gift. "We will always be together." Terrified and concerned, Heather barricaded herself in her apartment, but it had already started. The relentless scratching at her door, accompanied by whispers of vows of eternal friendship. The once benign fog outside seemed to seep into her apartment, a physical manifestation of Claire's suffocating grip. In a desperate bid for escape, Heather fled through her bedroom window, seeking refuge in the stormy night. As she ran through the deserted streets, the fog enveloped her and the echo of Claire's whispers lingered into the air. To this day, no one knows the fate of the two girls. Their story is only known now through security camera footage and speculation. In the heart of the small town of Crestwood stood an opposing structure, abandoned for decades, Crestwood High School. Its once vibrant halls echoed with laughter, but now only eerie silence enveloped the decaying building. Locals spoke in hushed tones about the mysterious events that led to its closure, warning curious souls to stay far away. A group of teenagers, fueled by the thrill of the unknown, decided to investigate the haunted high school on a moonlit night. As they approached, the ivy-covered building seemed to shiver in the chilly breeze and the air became dense with anticipation. Once inside, the creaking floorboards seemed to protest the intrusion, and the flickering fluorescent lights cast eerie shadows along the hallways. The students navigated the labyrinth of corridors, their footsteps magnified by the oppressive silence. The legend spoke of a forgotten tragedy, an incident that had left a permanent scar on the school's history. As the group delved deeper into the building's secrets, they stumbled upon a dusty yearbook that revealed the faces of those who had once walked these halls. One particular page held the image of a student named Emily, her eyes hauntingly familiar. As they reached the gymnasium, whispers of distant laughter and echoing footsteps surrounded them. The group was unnerved, their breath visible in the frigid air. The gym's dilapidated bleachers seemed to come alive, creaking as an unseen presence took a seat. In the pale glow of their flashlights, they saw ghostly figures materializing on the basketball court. The laughter grew loud, mingling with the spectral cheers of an audience that no longer existed. Suddenly, the temperature plummeted, and the gymnasium doors slammed shut. Panic set in as the students frantically tried to escape the icy grip of the haunted high school. The echoes of footsteps turned into desperate cries for help, and the ghostly apparitions closed in. In a last-ditch effort to break free, they stumbled upon the abandoned theater. The stage, adorned with fading curtains, seemed to beckon to them. As they reluctantly ascended, the whispers reached a fever pitch, recounting the tragic tale of Emily, a tragic actress who met her untimely end on opening night after a stage light fell from the ceiling, ending her performance. Or so they thought. The ghostly fingers converged, and Emily's tormented spirit materialized before them. Her eyes, filled with anguish, met theirs. The temperature plummeted further as the theater came alive with a spectral performance, a chilling reenactment of that fateful night. Terrified, the group witnessed the tragedy unfold before their eyes, unable to look away as the final act played out. The haunting whispers ceased, and the high school fell silent once more. The group emerged, shaken and changed, from the abandoned halls of Crestwood High School. The echoes of the forgotten lingered in their mind, a reminder that some stories are best left undistributed, buried in the shadows of the past. In the dim glow of a computer screen, Mark found himself navigating the depths of the internet's darkest corners. One late night, an ominous message on a forum led him to a mysterious website, ToastNet. The site was rumored to be haunted, a digital realm where the line between the living and the virtual blurred. The homepage displayed a cryptic symbol, and as Mark delved deeper into its pages, an unsettling sensation settled in his gut. The website seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy, and the images that flickered across the screen were disordered and disconcerting. Undeterred by the warnings of online skeptics, Mark continued his exploration. He stumbled upon a chat room where messages from anonymous users appeared in real time. The conversations were disjointed, filled with cryptic phrases that seemed to mock his presence. As he clicked through the pages, the ambient hum of his computer took on an eerie melody. Shadows danced on the walls, and the temperature in the room dropped. Mark felt a chill crawl up his spine, but curiosity compelled him to push forward. The website's labyrinth-like structure seemed designed to trap those who dared to venture too far. Mark found himself in a virtual maze, the walls closing in as the distorted whispers echoed in the digital void. Images flashed before his eyes, haunting faces and ghostly apparitions that seemed to reach out from the screen. In a hidden corner of the website, Mark discovered a gallery of photographs. Each image depicted moments from his own life, frozen in time. The digital manifestation of his memories stared back at him, distorted and twisted, as if the website had somehow breached the boundaries of the virtual and invaded his reality. Panic set in as Mark attempted to close the browser, but the website resisted, its digital tendrils clinging to his computer like a malevolent force. The chat room messages became more personal, revealing details about his past that he had never shared online. Desperation took hold as Mark frantically unplugged his computer, cutting off the website's access to his digital life. The room fell silent and the shadows retreated. Mark's heart pounded as he realized he narrowly escaped the clutches of the dangerous online world. The website, it seemed, had left a mark on his digital presence. As he navigated the web, he couldn't shake the feeling that he was being watched. The haunting whispers lingered, a ghost in the machine, waiting for the next unsuspecting visitor to cross its virtual threshold. On a stormy night with rain lashing against the window, Rachel found herself alone in her creaking old house. Her parents had gone away for the weekend, leaving her with only the distant rumble of thunder for company. The flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls, creating an atmosphere of isolation. As the hours passed, Rachel tried to distance herself with a book, but the howling wind seemed to penetrate the very walls of her home. A sudden power outage plunged the house into darkness, leaving only the feeble glow of the candle to fend off the encroaching shadows. Unease settled in as Rachel navigated the pitch-black corridors, her flashlight cutting through the darkness. In the silence, she became acutely aware of every creak and groan, every whisper of the wind that seemed to carry a message meant only for her. As she reached the top of the stairs, a chill crawled down her spine. A subtle but unmistakable sound echoed from the hallway below, a slow, deliberate footstep. Panic set in as she strained to listen, the sound now accompanied by soft, rhythmic breathing. She called out, expecting a reply, but the only response was the hollow echo of her own voice. Rachel's heart raced as she moved cautiously down the stairs, each step magnified in the silence. In the living room, she caught a glimpse of movement, a fleeting shadow that darted just beyond the edge of her vision. Her flashlight revealed nothing but empty space. The air seemed charged with a malevolent presence, an unseen entity that watched and waited. Desperation guided Rachel to the front door. The storm outside raged on, rain battering against the windows. As she fumbled with the lock, a voice whispered in her ear, so close that she could feel the breath against her skin. "You're not alone," it murmured, sending shivers down her spine. Rachel felt a presence behind her, a chilling breath on the back of her neck. She turned, but nothing was there. Suddenly, the power flicked back to life, illuminating the empty hallway. Rachel stood alone, drenched by the rain that had invaded through the front door. The oppressive silence returned, broken only by the fading echoes of the mysterious voice. Her parents returned the next morning to find Rachel pale and shaken. She struggled to articulate the horrors of the night, but the house stood in perfect order, devoid of any evidence of an intruder. The storm had passed, leaving only the unsettling memory of solitude's echo, an experience Rachel could never forget.